So social media is a big part of everyone's life, and especially our students because they were born, most of them, with it itself. And so we need to make sure we're talking to our kids about our boundaries. Next one. What's good about social media? It allows you to keep in contact with your family and friends. You can volunteer for different nonprofit profits and charities itself. You can get ideas about performing arts and fine arts itself, interacting with someone that is similar itself. During the COVID shutdown, this is the way that, we continue to educate and work itself, but it has to have boundaries. Next one. Um, you can help. And here's the thing, it has to be a partnership. A lot of times when I talk to parents at these workshops and they say, what can the school do? We're going to do our part, but you have to understand legal boundaries. Remember, it's your Wi-Fi, your phone, your device itself. So we need to work together for as the boundaries. Your average kid is spending quite a bit of time on social media. So it is very important to get to know what's going on, know what is out there on social media. Next one. Here's the thing, social media can provide a sense of community. Someone always have a story, and you can tell your story the way you want to present it. If you get to the local news or even national news, they edit it so down that sometimes you don't have the complete picture itself. Next one. Here's some of the things we need to know about that's bad about social media that we have the data for. This is on a worldwide, national, Texas, and within the school district. Cyberbullying is one of the biggest things. It has been a growing issue. We have a bullying process. Policy itself, being exposed to inappropriate content, sexual content, violence, aggression, uploading inappropriate, embarrassing things as well, and that can come back. We have to understand, because a lot of adults still don't get it. Everything you load into online is always there. It might not be on that particular platform, but it's always there. Sharing the personal information, target ads, and breach or someone trying to hack you. Next one. So once again, inappropriate sexual pictures. This has been an increasing problem for as all the way down to the elementary level itself. So making sure you have those parent controls on your TV, on your devices, and on social media. Being exposed to illegal substances itself, hate speeches, microaggression statements, or making any terroristic threats as well. Next one. What are some of the things that that kids and teens are using? The most popular ones: Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. We're also, remember, anytime you're on any type of Wi-Fi, there can be a connection to anyone in the world itself. So you have to make sure that you are checking behind, and make sure we're talking to our kids about not interacting with people that they should know, and gaming as well. Remember, on the gaming systems, you're in these chat rooms, and when you're playing the game, you're interacting itself. Next one. So, what are our concerns about Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok? First of all, make sure that the settings are private, no public. When you make it public, that means anyone that's on that platform can send a message, make a contact, do a video, or anything itself. So make sure you're steady checking. I'm gonna give you some parental apps that you can monitor, but I also encourage spot check. And then here's the thing: just teaching that healthy relationship, you and your child, communication, was right and what's wrong. Daily diary. Putting all your information on there. You had a fight with your mom, you had a fight with your dad. Maybe you feel like no one understands you. If those settings are not private, and even if they are, if they have not vetted that person before they befriended them, they are predators are looking for key phrases itself, and they will flood them with affirmations altogether. Private group chat posted in private. This is a major problem that we have that you see in Instagram. Remember, Whether it's private or not, it can be used to show if you make any bullying, inappropriate stuff that was being shared, or any terroristic threats against the school or against one person itself. One of the biggest things that kids really um, miss out on Snapchat is because they feel it falls off after 24 hours, that it's not there. But everyone has screenshot, and if they screenshot it, they can introduce to someone on that platform or on another platform itself. So it is always on social media, posting real time location itself. This is also could be a danger. You're letting everyone on social media know on your friends list where your location is. And here's the thing: if you are a kid or teen or minor, you're posting the whole family's location itself. And so we have to have the boundaries itself. A lot of the concerns that we're seeing, predators sending adult content, and parents, we need to also talk to your parents. We have stranger danger, but you have to understand with child abuse, most of the time in child abuse, it's someone that they know. So make sure you talk to your kids and monitor family and family friends to make sure they're not communicating with your child in a negative way as well. Inappropriate pictures, violence itself, maturity, harsh language, manipulation, fake accounts. If you know about your one child's account, typically your average teen and this depends on how often your kid is on there. They typically have, especially for Snapchat and Instagram, 3 to 4 accounts. So if you're only checking one, you need to go back and check the other. And this is what I also recommend is doing a spot check. Doing a spot check, coming in the room, saying like, "Hey, let me see your phone," um, and have those proper boundaries. You are legally responsible for what your kid do on and offline. So setting those boundaries, having a 8-year-old saying, "This is my phone, and you don't have the right." Yes, you do have the right, and so make sure you do it. DMs. Make sure you check those DMs because that's direct messages itself. Okay, where they can send things, even like on Instagram, you can be private and they have to ask for permission. Make sure you're talking to your kids. If you don't know this person, do not let them send you a message itself. Okay, and then here's another thing as well. We have the data, and it's not just teens. Anxiety, stress, depression, instant gratification. I'm having a bad day. I post a picture and I want to get all those likes. Everything you have, you just don't go from elementary to high school. You go elementary, middle school, and high school. So we need to constantly talk to our kids about you have to work for some things. You're not going to instantly get that gratification that you're looking for. And reality TV and social media has kind of warped that reality itself. And we're going to talk about your TikTok challenges because we're seeing them becoming not just a threat to them physically, emotionally, but also in a way criminally itself. TikTok became very popular. It was popular for before COVID, but became really popular. When the challenges first started coming onto TikTok, they were innocent like this. Just encouraging affirmation, doing something nice, being positive itself. And the more users that you had and they saw that they had an audience, it turned into something else. Now, TikTok could be a good thing, but you have to have boundaries. You have to have those privacy settings. Look at those comments that someone is looking at, that is sending as well. So it can still be positive, but you have to have the boundaries all together. Next one. Unfortunately, what we're seeing now with the TikTok challenges, the milk crate, where it was encouraging people to go up these unstable structures itself. What a lot of our students didn't see was the spinal injuries and the broken bones itself. The corn on the cob, where you was encouraging to put the corn on the cob on a power drill itself and you eat it. Well, you had a lot of broken teeth doing this. And then it became a little bit more dark with the devilish lick that came out last year, where it was encouraging kids to destroy and steal school property altogether. Our school district made a statement along with just everyone, other school districts, that if we witnessed this was happening, you will be charged itself. Smack a teacher. Unfortunately, this became very popular as well. And you can't encourage kids to to assault anybody itself. You had a lot of attorney generals and local prosecutors that sent to TikTok location, which is in China, that this is not okay. And let's just be really honest. They said it, they filtered, but it was a lot of these um, videos was going around, and law enforcement used these videos itself to prosecute. Yes, to prosecute. So a lot of times the kids, they think if my mom or my grandmother don't see this, but here's the thing: if it becomes criminal, law enforcement can use your pattern of behavior on your social media to build a case against you itself. And then, unfortunately, we had the blackout challenge where it was encouraging kids to hold their breath for so many minutes. Several kids did die from this, and it was just a matter of a few seconds itself in them being in their room. So once again, make sure you talk to your kids about the different challenges. Take the time to see what challenges are in and what's popular. Yes, we're used to the dance challenges, which are nice, but there's a lot of other challenges out there that you need to constantly talk to your kids about. And with me doing a presentation similar to this, but just for the students, they never look at the consequences. They never look at if someone seriously got injured itself. All they see is they had over 100,000 people liked it, or over 1 million people like it itself. And that's where the problem comes in. Next one. Cyberbullying. We know what cyberbullying is, but it is a major problem. It takes place on any digital device itself. Most of the time, it's going to be online where you have some type of Wi-Fi itself. The different forms are just harassing, being negative itself, trying to cause harm altogether. Unfortunately, cyberbullying has become more and more criminal itself, and a lot of more parents are just not reported to the school if they know it is a student that goes to school with their child itself. But a lot of times they're reporting to the police as well. Next one. Cyberbullying on video games. It had always been there, but it has been increasing because the new thing now what the kids do is they record themselves going through the different stages of the game. And with this, you're getting a lot of body shaming or just a lot of destructive behavior itself. If you know about it, make sure you talk to your kid so they will not allow this to happen itself. Also, in video games, you're getting more and more predators reaching out to kids through video games as well, because a lot of times if they're sitting there and they're recording themselves, they can monitor who's coming in the room, who's not coming into the room as well. So be aware, of this itself. You still have a lot of predators out there pretending to be kids, and in some cases video games are so popular. It depends on what video game it is across the board, not just for kids and teens, but adults as well. So make sure you talk to your kids about boundaries, not giving out too much information itself. Always want to know that they're not at home alone, that there's some adult there itself if they start to ask too many personal questions as well. And also, what are you showing in that video? Is it just showing the video screen itself, or is it giving a layout of wherever area they're playing the game in? Next one. Cyberbullying is emotional abuse, itself, and it's verbal abuse, and it's hurtful. Trauma is real. And so saying these different things, and here's the thing, let's just be honest. Kids are not the only one that have this problem, it's adults. Adults have this problem. You're behind this monitor, and that filter of being nice sometimes is not there, and just say what you say, but it is hurtful altogether. So make sure we talk to our kids about gaslighting people or just using manipulated texting techniques to make someone feel uncomfortable, and teaching our kids conflict resolution skills. They can't win every game. Okay. So we have to teach them for them to get better. Maybe they can win the next time itself. We shouldn't automatically get so upset that we start to project that feeling of not, being able to complete the mission onto someone else, and then you project it in such a traumatic and verbal and abusive way. Next one. Hmm. We know that cyberbullying and mental health is hand in hand. You have more and more depression, anxiety, eating disorders, everything. So it's very important that we teach our kids boundaries, what's right, what's real. A lot of times people think that everything you see on social media is real. It is not. You don't know what people went through to get that. We don't know if they just took a picture by this Bentley at Norfolk Mall itself. And sometimes you do, but we need to make sure we take it seriously and we know that this is real, and realize that what you do on social media, it can it can affect you. You might be in elementary, middle school, and high school, but let's say they can see that's who you are, and you try to get a job or a scholarship or internship, and this information comes up when that particular company do a forensic background check. You have facial recognition software just on your phone. A lot of security companies use that on social media as well. So please be aware of it. I cannot stress this enough. And if your kid has been bullied, there is help for them. Another thing we're seeing, that feeling being replaceable itself. You have to understand, like Instagram and Snapchat, it doesn't work like or TikTok work like Facebook. Like for instance, on Facebook, you might not get on there that much just to check the birthdays. But if you had scrolled it, it will return something from 2 to 5 up to 5 days. It doesn't work that way on the other platforms. So the kids and the teens feel like they have to stay and look and see what's going on so they can see that post itself. Too much communications, no boundaries. And this goes back to healthy relationship. Teaching your kids about healthy relationships, setting those boundaries. That means timelines itself. Feeling fear of missing out. Kids that are not sleeping and really tired in class because they've been up all night because all of the notices that's been coming, notifications coming through on their phone itself. Totally being attached to their devices. One of the biggest issues sometimes we have is steady trying to redirect the kid during instructional time to put the phone down. Remember, it's not just one kid in the classroom. Your classroom is anywhere from 15 all the way up to 30 kids sometimes. Our job is to be there, but our job is also to make sure instructional time is very valuable itself. So be aware of that. Next one. Following the trail. Here's the thing that we're seeing a lot of, because a lot of kids that are being exposed to a lot of stuff on social media and through streaming services, sexting. Remember, sexting is taking a nude or semi-nude or sexual content picture, and you're under the age of 18 and you send it to someone itself. That's considered child pornography. That is a felony. Receiving it, that is receiving child pornography. And if they received it and then sent it out, that's distribution of child pornography. This is real. Okay. Back in the day, my first presentation was 2013. Police really did get involved and they put it on the school, but legally, the school really didn't have any boundaries. Why? It was their personal person. And a lot of times, the inappropriates were happening when they were at home itself. So remember, we can only do so much in the partnership if it's on your device, on your Wi-Fi, and on your time. But more and more law enforcement are getting involved because a lot of these sexting pictures are showing up on dark web with predators and trading them. And sometimes, in some cases, doing a back trace of an IP address so they can befriend the kid and start to groom them even more. Sextortion. Sextortion is becoming more what it is, exploring someone online itself. We're seeing it more on the video games, asking a 9-year-old boy, send me a picture with your shirt off. In his mind, I'm not showing anything, and I'll send you $100 towards your PlayStation 5 itself. Not knowing doing that is leading into something else altogether. What we're seeing also is making threats. I'm going to send this to your parents, or I'm going to send this to the coach, or I'm going to send this to this internship program itself if you refuse to send any pictures. And see, what we're seeing is like the diagram I have, I'm showing you, it is the sexual abuse images itself leading to pornography, leading into sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is when someone is making, threats or forcing you into it. A lot of times people have this misconception that people can walk away. But if they have all the information on my family, and remember, I am still a child, I'm still a teen, I am convinced they can hurt me. And in some cases, they can. So be aware of this. Take it seriously. Itself, human trafficking is a problem in the United States. We're the number one importer of human trafficking victims in the world. In the United States, Texas, we're always either in the top three, in the top five itself. And Houston is number one, and Dallas is number two. We're seeing an increase in the area. It is not just from strangers, it is from family members or friends of the family. And in some cases, it could be teens as well. So make sure you talk to kids, not um, about taking inappropriate pictures itself. That is not okay. And that picture is forever. I can't stress that enough. It is a major problem. We've had students who have graduated, who went on to college and say, hey, try to do a security background check to get a job at the State Department, or in some cases at Google or something, and they didn't pass because something that they posted inappropriately when they was in school. So it is real. Next one. Once again, sextortion. I wanted to show you this diagram to let you know. It says 1 to 6 have shared a nude picture, beginning with age 9 and 17. So be aware that, yeah, this is real. This is something, this is not a Netflix movie that sometimes you want to separate it. If your kid is online, make sure you're taking the proper precautions and look what they're posting. Look and see if it's something inappropriate or inappropriate picture or inappropriate sexual suggestion itself, or just, let's say you hunt. Those guns are for hunting. There should be taking any inappropriate pictures with any weapons whatsoever. Okay. Next one. So once again, we're ranked third. Dallas is number two. These numbers, it's just an estimate, but these have been this for a while. But the one that you really need to understand is um, 400 teens or so on the streets nightly itself. Yeah, it is really big business. A lot of times, these kids are coming from unstable home, but in most cases. But what we're seeing since pre-COVID, that we're having a lot of victims that's coming from stable home. And here's the thing, they're able to sit on social media and groom them for long periods of time. So make sure you're steady talking to your kids about talking to someone trying to talk to them about sex or just anything inappropriate, sending them something itself. It is big business here in the state of Texas itself. A lot of times people always want to blame the victim or want the victim to be a superhero. If I was a superhero, I wouldn't be a victim sometimes. So we have to make sure we take care of our kids, let them know this is real. And a lot of times the predators play on that, and they don't just observe the kids, they observe the family, your interaction that you have itself. So please just be aware of that. Next one. Encourage online positive online behavior. Set a good example itself. Think before you post. Teach kids about empathy, using respectful language. Check fact check. Adults have the same problem. You would never think this political season that we have, that things that we have documented evidence against, that all of a sudden someone said that that trauma didn't happen or that trauma is not real, and you have the evidence itself. So we need to really make sure we check that. Make real people a priority. Make real people. A lot of times these people grow because they're able to talk to them for such long periods of time. So make sure, never dismiss someone's trauma and pain. Trauma and pain is real. Okay. And sometimes some trauma events takes a lifetime and a lot of therapy, and sometimes it still takes a lot. So we have to make sure we respect that victim, that trauma, and help them get to what they need to help them grow, get through this. Next one. Affirmations. I cannot stress this enough. One of the key things that we've learned from law enforcement and our mental health community that we see in one of these cases when a trafficker has been caught with an underage, with a minor is the affirmations. Steady, we know that you're already doing it and we're doing it too. But as a partnership, make sure we're constantly giving those affirmations to our kids to let them know they are they are doing a good job. Job well done. Keep working at this itself. Because a lot of times, and I've seen it, we've all seen it. And here's the thing, let's just be honest. We have adults that get caught up in the same situation because someone has sent them, don't know where they're originating from, but they're saying that you're cute. They're saying that, that's a cute outfit, or, I love what you posted today itself. So make sure we are constantly reinforcing the affirmations. Next one. You are worthy. You are someone. You're the only version of you to ever exist in the universe. You are great, you are powerful, and you are special. Now, these words are so powerful. Okay. So we need to constantly and continue to do this partnership to let our kids know that itself, because you have predators who are professionals. Okay, at gaining trust, not just for kids, but adults as well. And sometimes we put a lot of responsibility on the kids of trying to figure out who's good and who's bad itself. But remember, adults have the same issue. So make sure you're steady just giving them new information, steady having that door of healthy communication open so they'll be able to talk to you or another trusted adult itself. We're here to help you, but we want you to know that you have to do your part when it comes to online and what they're viewing. Next one. Online safety. Make sure they're being their own person. Think before they post. Never talk to strangers, family, friends, or older, or other students or teens that are talking in a sexual way. You have to set these boundaries. There is no subject should be off limit because it's not off limit on social media. Okay. Avoid ever meeting anyone in person. Don't measure your life based on what's that's online, and be nice. Next one. Healthy social media habits. Here's the thing, we have to set the boundaries itself. So that means in our outbursts of what we see online, the kids watch us, how we operate and how we interact online. They will mimic it that if it's done right there in front of them. So make sure our ultimate goal is to make sure we give them healthy social media behaviors. Next one. So remember, um, if it's online, block the user. Make sure you do report it to the app itself. Reach out. Now, if it's one of our a classmate or someone didn't know, we have a bullying process. So you can call and talk to the counselor or the principal to let them know what is going on itself. You have anti-bullying organizations, but if it's went too far and it's threatening someone's life, make a police report. Okay. Uh, Itself. And I just want you to know you have to understand terrorist threats are not okay. There's too many school shootings that are going on. So people take it really, really serious. So please make sure, you tell your child, be serious about what you post online. Next one. These are some parent control apps itself that you can use. If you go to YouTube itself, it will give you a demonstration of how it works. I do encourage this, and I also encourage a spot check itself altogether, because here's the thing, it's so much information out there. Social media can be a wonderful thing, but it has to have boundaries, and it has to be with someone constantly looking at their phone. Checking your phone once a week is it's not enough. It needs to be something that you do on a regular basis, because believe me, a predator is working it like a 9 to 5 job and sometimes on overtime. Okay. So be aware of that itself. I tell parents, your child can be just as dangerous in their bedroom as if they were on Harry Hines on a Friday night. if there's no boundaries, no rules set, and that person or has totally access to them. So be aware of that. Next one. These are some if you need additional or something you need to talk about a question that you just or if you need to report something itself, report it to CPS itself. If you need to contact me, the next slide will have my information. There is great programs and resources on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children itself. I do encourage you to go on there. It's for that information. The National Human Trafficking Hotline, there's great information as well. So just make sure you get yourself all the resources that you need. Next one. And it's okay to ask for help. You're not going to know everything, but we need to make an effort to know what we do need, because this is our child itself. So please be aware of it. Ask for help. Now, asking for help. Remember, as school employees, we can only do so much, especially if it's on your time. So we do need your partnership at home to make sure that the kids have proper boundaries and have healthy online relationships. Next one. This is my information itself. I'd be more than happy to help as much as I can. Here's the thing. Technology is wonderful. A lot of times it outgrow rules and laws itself, but we have to do our part. Okay. TikTok is wonderful, but you have to have boundaries itself, and check. Make sure you are checking who your kid is interacting with itself. And that's why I do encourage the spot checks. I do encourage having that time, that downtime, to setting that equipment down and talking one-on-one with your child. All right.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mitchell, for that great information and for the reminder that it's our responsibility to stay alert and protect our kids. I know that this is such a serious problem, and I know that this topic can be scary, but I'm so thankful that you took some time to share these resources, because it's our job as parents and adults to protect our kids.